Hey! So, last week we talked about Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which, like I said, great book. Definitely recommend it. Also recommend that you read that book and watch my last video before you watch this one, because today we're going to talk about Days of Blood and Starlight, which is book 2 of the series. All of them are amazing, and I definitely recommend the entire thing. It starts off with Karu is missing. As we know, at the end of the first book, she left to go to Eretz, and Akiva has just revealed that Brimstone is dead. He said all of them are dead. And when I first read this book, I thought that just meant like Brimstone and the little group. But he meant everybody. Okay? So, not necessarily a spoiler, because he said they're all dead. Which is true. When they killed Brimstone, they attacked Loramendy, the city of refuge, and killed everyone. Alright, so the warlord is dead, Brimstone is dead, everybody is just gone. So no one's left. And she's like, well, somebody has to be left alive. So she left and went to Eretz to find anybody that she can. Again, sorry for any spoilers, and sorry if I say things wrong, because I only speak English and I struggle to say words anyway. So we have to continue this tale of revolution, because it goes from Susanna not knowing where Karu is to Akiva, who thinks that Karu is dead because of reasons that you could find in the second chapter of this book. Basically, he's like, oh my god, she's dead. He found a reason to believe that she was dead, and obviously she's not, because we still have, that's in chapter 2, so we still have the rest of this book and the third book. Obviously Karu is alive, so he's gonna do what he can to help the survivors and to help, not necessarily the rebellion, because the rebellion is killing all the angels, and he's like, I don't want anyone to die. But in the next chapter, we get back to Karu, and she is on Earth with the survivors. So, baby spoiler, Thiago is alive. White Wolf, still alive, face of the rebellion. There's 80 Chimera left, soldiers anyway. And so Thiago is the face of the revolution, but Karu is the reason that it's successful. Because when she was Madrigal, she learned from Brimstone the art of resurrection and the magic behind that and how to do it. So she's able to keep giving them new bodies, and so they can keep fighting and keep staying alive, pretty much. So that's a lot of what this book is about, is her struggling with having to create these big, bad, monster-looking chimera with these gentle souls of the people that she's known and that she really grew up with in her past life. But it is a war, and when 90% of the population is dead, you do what you have to do. So she's mad at Akiva because he's the reason everyone's dead. He thinks that she's dead, so he's obviously brooding and angsty, because that's what he does. And with his brooding and angstiness, he has decided that he's not going to kill anyone else. He's trying to get more and more people on his side, and including his brother and sister, which we met in the first book, Liraz and Hazael. So lots of drama, lots of fighting, lots of oh my god, this person's alive sort of thing. So we get a bit more of an introduction to the Stellians in this book. We met them in the first book, but we only really met them as Akiva's mom. She's the only Stellian that we know of. Obviously there are more, but nobody knows anything about them. They're the mysterious group of angels on the other side of the world. And you only get to learn a little bit more about them in this book, because in this one, since the war is over against the Chimera, technically, the Emperor, Joram, has decided that he is going to declare war on the Stellians now. They're not having it. They're like, no, we're kind of peaceful right now. Here's a basket of fruit. He's angry, of course. Still wants to declare war. Still sending troops. None of them are coming back. We don't know if they're dead or alive. Not really seeing a whole lot of Stellians. It's fine. We'll figure them out later. Right now, there's a revolution to deal with. At the end, basically, toward the end, the middle of the end, Akiba finds out that he's called to see Joram because they're like, well, you're part Stellian, you look like them, we're gonna send you to them. He's like, nah, like, I'm trying to help fight a revolution, so no. Because at that point he knows that Karu's alive, right? Uh, so while he's there, while he's with Joram and JL, he learns that the invasion of the Stellians, JL basically takes control. There's a whole bunch of drama there. You can read about it. I was impressed. Uh, on both sides, Akiva and JL. Although JL's kind of a dick and nobody really likes him. So, whatever. Uh, he Akiva finds out that the invasion of the Stellians that they've been planning has actually been a plot all along by JL to invade the humans, which is only vaguely a spoiler because it's literally the plot of the third book, but we'll get to that. So he's like, well, we have to stop them. We can't allow them to invade Earth because we don't want the technology of Earth to be here because that's dangerous. So because he knows that Karu is alive, there's a bunch more stuff that happens, but he goes to Karu and he's at the very, very end, he's like, we have to team up. Like, I've got an army behind me of Misbegotten. You have what's left of the Chimera. Like, we have to team up to fight this because otherwise it's just gonna be slaughter. They're gonna have guns and we can't, like, beat them. So he comes to her and is like, we gotta team up. And then she's like, her and Thiago are like, I guess there's a whole plot twist around that too. But her and Thiago are like, yeah, we're gonna do this. And as they're like planning how to gently tell the rest of the angels that, hey, we're gonna team up with Chimera, Susanna and Meek come to them and are like, the angels are here. You have to see a TV or whatever. So that's the end of the book. It's good. There's a whole lot more drama in it than that. Definitely read it for yourself and find out. But I said in the first book I didn't have any complaints about it. Not true for the second book. I do have some complaints about this one. Overall, love the book. The writing style, the characters, I'm still incredibly attached and I still love them so much. It kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time I was reading it because I was like, when I first started it, I was like, Karu can't be dead. There's still 2 more books left. Like, she has to be alive, right? But it doesn't tell you until it gets to her point of view that, like, hey, she's alive. It's fine. I say it kept me on the edge of my seat, and it did, but in like a really predictable way, because I could tell you when I first started reading it. I was like, I know the end of this. And like, I've read this book before, but I don't think I made it all the way through. And I was like, I know what's going to end up happening. Like, they're going to end up together. Everyone's going to be happy. Whatever. It's fine. I never would have guessed that the angels were coming to Earth, honestly. Never would have seen it coming because I hadn't read the third book yet. Well, whatever. But generally, the end result I could have seen coming. But the way that it happened, I was like, I need to know more. I gotta see this. I gotta read, figure out what happens. Oh my gosh. It's so easy to connect with the characters. It's so easy to hate the characters that they hate for what they've done. It's super easy to like fall into the book. Get swept up in the drama and the emotion. But like I said, I do have a few problems with this book. One being that there is a very sensitive scene, and I did not see it coming. So as I've said, Thiago is still alive, and he is very manipulative of Karu, which he's a very manipulative person just in general. Like, we've seen that, everybody knows that, it's common knowledge. But there's a very, very sensitive scene where he lures her down to their like death pit and he tries to rape her. And I thought he was gonna like take her down there and kill her, like kill her friends or whatever, which technically true, but it's a very sensitive scene. I didn't precisely see it coming. I was like, something's gonna happen, but that's not what I was expecting it to be, and it was graphic, and it doesn't work out well in his favor for sure, but like, I was not prepared at all. Yeah, so just be aware, warning for that, because it's very, very much there. Um, Two, my main problem with the writing style. That's my main problem with the content, is that it was just a very sudden, like, graphic scene, which fit with the characters and it fit with their story. So I'm not too upset about it. Just wish I had been able to, like, prepare myself. I know a lot of people are going to be, like, upset by that. So just so y'all know. But my main problem with the writing style in this one. So the way that the chapters work, I still really love, but also in one of the chapters toward the beginning, she just introduces a new character. I'm reading this and it's a slave who's running from the angels. And I get it. The first time I read it, I was really, really confused. I was like, who is this new person? What are they doing in the story? What do they have to do with anything? Obviously, it like helps to push the narrative of the angels are killing everybody and it's awful. But I was like, what's really the point of this? My second time reading it, I understood a bit more because it really does help push home this is what's happening in this war. This is the result of the emperor and his orders and the angels who enjoy it, whatever. And it shows even the angels are like disgusted by a lot of what they're doing. But when she introduces the new character, it's just very suddenly from their point of view. Like, I don't know who these people are. I have no emotional connection to them. Um, by the end of it, I still like during their chapters, I was just kind of like, whatever. Let's go back to the main characters. But I get it, and I do like those characters, and it does kind of help introduce a character who's connected to the main ones, I guess. Yeah, it's just very sudden, and they do eventually connect, but I was very confused the first time and a half that I read it, so those are my main problems. Random new characters and like very abrupt new characters and a very abrupt graphic scene, which fit with the storyline, so not so bad, but whatever. Overall, I think I would give this like 4 stars because it was really, really good still, and I still really, really loved it, but not near as much as I loved the first book. The first book was so intriguing and so good, and then this one was just like really intriguing and good, but there were parts of it that I was just like, I could stop. Whatever. So, definitely give it a read. First book and second book, recommend them both. And next week we will discuss the third and final book of the trilogy. Um, can't wait to get to that. So, like, subscribe, give me your recommendations for new books down in the comments because I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna run out of books eventually, so let me know. Also, if you have read this book or the series, let me know what you think about it because I really enjoy it and I want other people to really enjoy it, but I don't really have anyone to talk about that's read it before or talk to about it that's read it before. But bye!